brothers and sisters.
Give me a moment with your friend. I've never been up to enough for my thoughts before.
Welcome to the Only One Mic podcast called Gerard, Brooklyn, Dre. J. Rob and the Hatters in the building. How y'all doing, fellas?
What up?
All right, y'all. What we got on the docket today, we're going to talk about that All-Star game. Fani Willis, heated moments in court. And Ben Crump taking up the Malcolm X case, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, fellas. I know we haven't been together, you know what I mean, the Fantastic Four here in a while. So listen, let's get into the All-Star game, brothers, because
Silver should be fired, man.
Yeah, I didn't even realize there was an All-Star game. My nephew told me this like Saturday night, and I'm like, what All-Star game? So I don't know if it's because I don't watch too much network television. Was this thing really promoted like that or what, man?
Yeah, it was promoted the way they normally do. The thing is that it's turned to garbage.
Yeah,
it's trash.
Yeah, like not only did he tell me that, and I didn't know. Once he told me, I really wasn't interested anyway. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? Maybe it's my era, man. You know what I mean?
They don't even play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even just the festivities before that, man. The NBA dunk contest, man. Remember when the dunk contest would be something you ran home?
Highlights of the weekend.
Yes. Yeah. The highlight of the whole weekend, man. It's like,
yeah.
You couldn't tell me that it wasn't. So let me ask y'all a question. For those of you that watched it, you know, I'm speaking to the brothers here. You know what I mean? What was your thoughts on that particularly?
The dunk contest was trash.
The whole thing was trash, man. Blame LeBron James. It's all LeBron fault.
Just for the context of this, you know, because again, a person like myself who did not watch it, I did not, you know, I didn't watch it.
I'm about to say, I'm chiming out too, because I didn't watch it either. I didn't know it was on.
And I'm quite sure a few people out, you know, in the audience probably didn't watch it. Give us some context on who was actually in the dunk contest, if you can, please.
I can't even remember. It was some kid from the G League, and
little white guy. Little white guy who won last year.
Little white guy.
Yeah, little white guy.
Then them sad Philadelphia 76ers gave him a contract just so he could win a dunk contest last year. Did he represent Philly last year?
Last year he did.
He was in the Sixers. They gave him like a week contract or something like that just to get in the dunk contest.
Yeah, it was
because they probably knew the kid could dunk or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to try to put him on, but he ain't never play in the games, and then when he did play, it was like garbage time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's sad, man.
Wow.
Like,
but I'm gonna say this because this was a quote that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
They said this kid jumped over Shaq, so that's kind of impressive. You know what I mean? You jump over Shaq, and the kid Jaylen Brown from the Celtics jumped over some little blogger who like 5'2", sitting in a chair. Yeah. So it's like what are we watching here?
The sad part about it is, man, I remember like growing up, the dunking contest was exciting until LeBron got in the league.
All the greats did the dunk contest, even Kobe.
Yeah,
Kobe won the dunk contest with nice dunks.
Yeah, and again, I always say, man, the people can say what they want. I don't think he really competes, man. I think he plays the game, but I don't think he's really competing. He's really putting it on the line. You know what I mean? Like how the greats want everything. Yes. Mike won the dunking. He wants the dunking contest. You know, some of the greats couldn't even shoot and gotten 3-point contests. You know what I mean? They want it all.
The greats want to beat you in flipping quarters. They don't care what it is. They want to win.
They want to win.
Pennies, whatever it is. Yeah. And then
not LeBron. If he ain't got a stack team, he don't want to play.
He don't want to play, man. It's sad.
It's
and then
sad.
With Adam Silver, man, and all of this stuff that they're doing to make the game exciting. The in-season championship, adding on another playoff game, and all this other stupid garbage. You know how you make it exciting? Play defense.
There you go.
Bring defense back. You know what I mean? Stop this big three garbage, and just play defense. And the game will go back to what it is. You know what I mean?
Make people actually have to earn their check. Stop calling these ticky-tack technical fouls. let's get back to where technicals are real technical. You know what I mean? And we go on. We had some good competition.
Yeah, it ain't like this is football or nothing like that. It ain't like you're gonna get like, concussion for getting a hard foul or something like that. Not, I mean, occasionally, I guess, but not, every foul down.
Yeah, you're not getting a real concussion. You're not getting a football concussion.
Yeah,
you might just get bopped in the head and your head might hurt a little bit. But come on, man, you got to stop. I blame LeBron. LeBron don't want to compete. He don't want to compete in the dunk contest. If you're the best player in the league, supposedly, why wouldn't you? And you can jump. Why wouldn't you want to go out there and dunk and do it for the fans?
Yeah, and make All-Star Week what it is. It's kind of like a fan appreciation thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? Like you make a lot of money.
I also heard that when they was presented the trophy at the end, not for the dunk contest, but for the actual game, it was really like no fanfare to it. Like it was just like, here's the trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, scoring 200 points in one game, what kind of stupid garbage like that, man. That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
No defense being played, man. It's ridiculous, man.
Niggas is just they just coming down and just pulling from half court. Like, what are we doing here? If we was in the park right now and somebody shot from half court, you'd be like, yo, get off the court.
Right, get out of here, man.
But see, we speaking of our generation of playing though, man. These kids is like that though, man.
Well, I think that's one of the things that messed this whole thing up, man. Them doggone participation trophies. That's why everybody happy when they lose, and
they're not
playing. Everybody hugging, when they not. It's like nobody's really having a competition anymore. It's like, all right, so what? We lost.
Let's get back to if I lose, I don't want to shake your hand. Let's get back to that.
At least for today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least for today. We can get over it later down the line.
If we play 5 times over the next 5 years and you beat me 5 times, I don't like you.
So competition is, man.
Competition is.
But we not friends. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl is not what it used to be no more. Now it's flag football.
It's flag football.
Flag football, man. Nobody wants to compete.
You know what it is? Because there's a lot of YouTubers going around. I forget this guy name. Oh, his name is Destroy, I think. The young boy out of Florida. He's a kicker. My boys watch him all the time. But he go around, and y'all probably seen him in commercials and stuff, because now he got some type of connection with the NFL. But him and another guy go around to all these big cities and have all these young boys that meet up at a football stadium and have all them running routes.
Yeah, man. I like that, man.
They have the DBs. Hey, it's very entertaining.
Yeah, I like that. I know what you're talking about. I want to say they had Ocho Cinco out there. No, Terrell Owens out there one time, man. He was out there playing around.
They had the last one I saw. They was in Philly. They had Michael Vick out there quarterbacking, throwing the ball.
Yeah, man. And those kids out there playing aggressive, man, having some fun, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, you see all type of dudes out there running. Old dudes think they still got it. You got white boys trying to prove that they rough. And some of them rough.
Yeah, some of them are nice too, man. Out there.
And that's the thing. Competition in sports has always been fun. Yeah. And if you can't find the fun in wanting to win in an athletic competition, you shouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
Right
about that, man. Yeah. And then you calling these guys, the greatest. And really, they don't really want to compete. I don't think LeBron really wants to compete. I mean, I like LeBron as a person. You can't take nothing from him as far as business is concerned.
And for the philanthropy.
For him standing up for a lot of social issues and stuff like that. But on the court, man, he's nothing compared to some of the other guys, man. We're talking about killers in the past, man. Like Mike, Kobe.
So, but he's old. But he's old too, though. He's one of the older players out there, LeBron.
You know what, though? I think the reason why that is because they like to compare him to Mike and Kobe and them guys. But Mike and Kobe was double team and triple team their entire career. Since his first 4 or 5 years in Cleveland, he ain't had no double triple. He hasn't had the stress on his body that they've had for those years. You know what I mean? And not to mention, they're not playing basketball like they were back then. He's not even getting a hard foul. You know what I mean? All the
you have rarely seen somebody knock him out the air or put LeBron on his back.
Yeah.
But
you touch LeBron, you might get kicked out the league.
True, that's true. That's true. But you got to realize too, a lot of these dudes are flopping like crazy. It gets sickening sometimes when they, you know, I mean, to the point that they got YouTube clips now showing where it's just so outrageous of the flops that they be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the king. He was the king flopper, man.
Yeah.
LeBron was the king flopper.
And I look at like these kids now when they actually play ball. If you go to the court, a lot of them are just doing it. You know what I mean? Just flopping just to do it. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a part of their game now. You know what I mean?
And then people have the nerve to say now that, you know, the basketball players now are more talented than those in the past. Let me tell you something. The problem with basketball right now, everybody wants to be a 3 or a 2. You know what I mean? They wants to be a shooting guard or they want to be a small forward. I don't care if you 7'5" or 5'1". Everybody plays the 2 or the 3 position.
It's the European style basketball, positionless basketball.
Yeah,
that's not hooping. I mean, like, you 7 foot, you're not gonna play point guard. You're gonna play center or power forward. Get down there in the box, get your money.
Yeah, get your money. That's what it is. I remember as a kid, you know, as soon as you went out on the court, coach just told you right here, all right, big man, all big men go down here. Point guards will go over here, you know, so on and so forth. And this is the problem. They say everybody is more skilled. Skilled in what? Being a 2 or a 3? What about learning about the drop step, you know, and all the different moves and different things that you got to do under the backboard and stuff like that? Nobody really is. I think Joel Embiid is probably the only one that actually still somewhat have that kind of big man game. You know what I mean? I don't know too many players that have that.
The Joker got a big man game. He just European. I ain't gonna lie. He got the moves. He just slow and can't jump.
Yeah. Joker's one of them.
He got some footwork.
Yeah, he's not bad at all. Joker, and then, but then again, he also too is the one that bring it down. You know what I mean? So he's not. I mean, he got the traditional moves when he won it, but he bring another skill set.
That's another thing. Why the point guards or the guards don't go take the ball from these big men dribbling the ball?
That's another thing I said, man. Again, because there's no defense being played. How in the world you got a 7'5" man coming down, dribbling and crossovering you, and you 6'2", 6'3"? There's no way that should happen. If you're playing defense,
go take the ball from him.
Go take the ball from him, man. But you know, the Adam Silver should be fired, man. He's really messing up the sport. That whole big 3 garbage is really killing the league. You know what I mean? And the sad part about it, there's some good talent in the NBA now. You got the Ja Morants, you got the kid down there, what is it? Anthony.
The kid Wemby is nice. You got Anthony Edwards from Minnesota.
Anthony Edwards, that's what I'm going to say. Edwards, you got some nice talent out there, man. A lot of nice talent, man. And they playing around. Yeah,
speaking of Ja Morant said next year he's gonna do it.
That's
the dunk contest.
You should save it.
Well, he's doing it now.
What I do like about these young kids now, they're not playing around with LeBron and them, man. You know what I mean? They're coming out trying to compete, man, trying to take their heads off. And
that's the reason why I say LeBron will never be better than Mike, because people feared Mike. Nobody fears LeBron.
Yeah,
they go and try to dunk on him. Anytime they go try to do things to him. He ain't never do that to Mike.
They feared Kobe too, man.
Yeah,
Kobe was feared. The Mamba was feared, man.
Absolutely,
the Mamba was definitely feared, man. But Adam Silver, they need to get him out of here, man. He's killing the league, man. The sad part about it's like only really one sport now that you can watch and get some competition out of it. And I think that's football. And the sad part about that, and they're trying to mess that up too.
Let me ask you
I think the only sport you can watch and really see competition is boxing or UFC. Because this football, let me ask you.
I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time on the football thing, but I want to ask y'all, man, because we weren't together when the Super Bowl came and went. You know what I mean? And we all seen how that turned out. Which I got to say, I predicted that like 2 weeks prior to that. Taylor Swift was going to win that Super Bowl. But what happens is
Travis Kelce, big pharmaceutical. You know what was going on.
You know what's going on, brother. They don't even talk about the brother that actually scored the touchdown. You ever notice that? Nobody speaks about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a big pharma.
Yeah, we'll save that for another affair. But what happens is, I noticed in one of the commercials they're talking about now that the NFL is about to go international, start recruiting people from overseas, man, with a heavy focus in that commercial on Africa. You know what I mean? So what do y'all think about that? Do you think that's a good idea, or is it going to turn into basketball at some point?
I think that's what's happened. Well, I think it happened in baseball. It happened in it's happening in basketball now. And the crazy thing about it is, it's kind of eliminating black players.
Yep.
You know, because baseball, they did it, and now you can't find no blacks in baseball. And right now, you're seeing how the Europeans are taking over the NBA. And
that's the thing, right? So
I don't mind if you can play, you can play.
The Europeans and the Africans, but this is the thing, right? So you got the Africans and the overseas players actually being trained in the skill of playing basketball and the science of the game, where you have the American players, they just basically playing pickleball till they get to college or get to the pros. Like you don't really have an understanding of the game.
And then over there,
it's basically putting them behind.
And then also too over there, even though it's a Euro game, that Euro game is aggressive. You know what I mean? Over here, we still playing patty cake now. You know, everybody's all soft and everything like that. It might nix us out of it. You know, we laugh at it.
It probably will.
You know, people will sit here and listen to it and they'll say, oh, no, well, black people will never be out of basketball or whatever like that. But look at baseball.
Yeah.
It's like I think somebody said one time, it's like 1% of baseball is African American. I remember one time or another, Reggie Jackson and all of these names was in baseball. You know what I mean?
Reggie Jackson wasn't black though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out later on. But that's why I found out he was what did you say, Puerto Rican or something like that?
Yeah.
But well, excuse me, not Reggie Jackson. Let's say Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden, the Koch brothers, man.
Right. Now I remember a couple years ago the Phillies was in the World Series and they ain't had no black players. It was just crazy. Like
a lot of teams don't have black players in baseball. You know what I mean? And where you get fooled at is you think is because they're taking them. They're Spanish, but they'll be Dominican and brown skin, but they're not really African American.
People of color, but they're not.
They're not us, I guess you would say. But yeah, that's what's going on, and that Euro game is actually fitting to them. Remember, we hated the Euro game.
I still do.
Remember, we hated the Euro game. We wanted this aggressive basketball that we had, with birds and magics and stuff like that. And then the Euro game came in. Everybody talked bad about it, but now that's what it is.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, like watching the basketball 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, you had to have heart. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, you can't do nothing. You can't touch nobody. You can just run down the court, do whatever you want. And it's like everybody's talking trash. It's like, you're not even built like that. You wouldn't do that if I could punch you in your face. Seriously.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Because now they throwing you and throwing you out off the teams and stuff and suspending you for long periods of time now for fighting. Back in the day, they weren't that harsh with you fighting. I mean, you would fight and then you may sit out the rest of the game, but you can't rep back. But now it's like with anything in life, people don't want to be punished no more for their actions.
Yeah, right about that. Yeah.
All right, so check this out. We're gonna move on to the next thing, which is I know near and dear to your heart, Trey. Fani Willis. Fani. I've realized I've been pronouncing this woman's name wrong. Fani Willis.
That's what her dad said.
Yeah, Fani Willis. Yeah. So listen. Of course, we know that she's on trial to be removed, from Trump's case, if I'm using that term correctly. So,
right.
I don't want to get into too much context because everybody knows what's going on. But apparently, she hired someone that she allegedly was seeing during the time, and there was things that was going on where they spent a lot of money and the blah, blah, blah. You guys can go to any news site, USA, and watch this. But
basically saying she overpaid him.
Yeah.
And then she took advantage of the overpay.
Yeah,
by going on trips and stuff.
But the real story really is how Fani, is handling herself in this courtroom, man.
I think she did a bad job.
You think so?
Yeah, she went there with that. Don't get me wrong, man. I think she don't really have a case against her, but I think at the end of this, they are going to put a case against her because she was doing things in the court. Like, I think she's trying to say she keeps so many thousands of dollars in her home, which are father told her to do, or whatever case may be. And then at one point, I think they said she had a tax lien for like a couple of $1,000 or something like that. And they were kind of asking her, well, you know, you got all this money in your house. Why didn't you pay the tax lien? And the lady was like, you know, you going to tell me how to pay my bills?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what the real story is, like a lot of the responses to these questions.
And again, it might make it through this case, but there's a tax person somewhere watching this like, whoa, you talking kind of slick, you know what I mean? And then
the thing is, when you in those political areas, and especially if you're a lawyer, you have a higher knowledge of certain things. So when you get in those type of situations, or they put you in those type of situations, they tend to be more sarcastic because, again, they know something allegedly that the public doesn't know.
Right.
I think though, she being, maybe I looked at the case, right? And I'm thinking maybe she just was so angry. That's the way she approached it. That the fact that they're coming at her like this.
Wait. We got to stop you right there. You don't want to paint her as the angry black woman.
Oh, everybody already did that.
So,
every news outlet is saying
like, that. That's the whole thing. It's like how different outlets are reporting it differently. You know what I mean? So,
but that's the problem right there. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If they call her angry black woman, so I mean, why we keep running from folks that say things like that? Okay, she's an angry black woman. So what? Is she right or wrong? That's the bottom line. Let her be an angry black woman. She's human.
She is.
And why is it that only black people get painted as angry when white people do it, or Caucasian people or whatever, they get on TV and they express a certain amount of emotion? They never be painted as an angry white boy or angry, you know.
It's a dangerous game to play though, man, in that courtroom, man, because even though she's not on trial right now, but after this, if you watch that case, I'm quite sure they're gonna bring up a case against her, because there was a lot of fugazi responses in that case, man, about that money, man. And I'm not saying that she did anything wrong. It just didn't seem right. I'm not, and I understand, I'm an objective. I ain't riding against her. I'm just saying, I watched it and I'm looking at a case and I'm like, you know, we as black people, we could look at a case and tell if it's going right or wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
That's how I felt, man.
I don't see the problem. So what is she dating this guy? What they got to do with the case? That don't affect the case?
Well, what they're saying is that in the case is that they're trying to say that she actually is kind of giving him the money and contracts, and he's been paid like crazy better than everybody else.
But he's not supposed to be not qualified enough to take this case on.
And they're saying he's getting a whole lot more money than they think he should get. And the sad part about it is that they're trying to say that they've been on these trips and different dates and whatever, and they're trying to say
So what?
Using that money.
So what? The folks been doing that for the longest. That ain't nothing new.
I agree with you, Pope. It's the fact that they want to hold us to a different standard. And I said this in other shows. They always trying to hold black people to a different standard. Now you got all these Fortune 500 company CEOs who are being paid for who knows what, way more than they should, who are taking trips and all that type of stuff that never brought up on no charges. Matter of fact, when they do something wrong, they get a stimulus package, a surplus, a buyout to make sure that their companies don't fail. But you're trying to hold us to a different standard.
I agree with y'all, brothers. But this is America.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
I don't make it right.
But again,
I'm not saying it is right.
But again, we are so easy to let other folks think for us. You know what I'm saying? And then we all follow along with that train of thinking. You know, it's like for instance, when COVID first came out, right? And people don't even think about or even talk about this no more. When COVID first came out, the lie went out that black people can't catch it.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was so popular, it made it to one of the skits on Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, so why was that lie spread so far, so many different places? And if we actually believe that, we're going to walk around with no mask, and guess what's going to happen? We're going to catch COVID and possibly die.
Right.
So those in the beginning, they knew that wasn't true, but they told a lie and we took it and kept it going and act on it as if it was factual.
And actually, a lot of our people die more of it because we have more underlying conditions probably than most people. You know what I mean?
And then
actually, and the fact that they thought they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
A lot of black people did take that too hard. I remember watching friends in video of some of my friends in Brooklyn having a great time during this time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Early stages.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then maybe about a month later, everybody masked up and, you know, taking it serious. But yeah, you're right about that.
You're talking about a trap. That's a trap right there. The trap house. That's what a trap house move right there. They trapped us.
Yeah. But again,
caught in the trap.
But again, like I said, I agree with everything y'all say, right? But I'm always like this. Like, let's say, for instance, I do nothing wrong today. I get pulled over in the street, as I'm driving to work or whatever the case may be. And some trumped up charges come up to me or whatever the case may be. I still can't go in that courtroom and act crazy.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no. You got to be wise.
So, you know, again, I hear what you say. I would definitely have the right to be angry. But the reality of it all is you're still in America, man. And we would love to say, you know, maybe justice is blind and everything went right, but it doesn't go that way, man. You know
You're also not a lawyer. I believe if you was a lawyer and had that title of nobility, that when you went in that courtroom, if they brought you up on something, that you would also be sarcastic, highly sarcastic, because you know the situation that you're in is a complete farce.
And again, y'all got to listen to that case, man, because as I'm listening to that case, that case honestly sounds fugazi. Like, it sounds like a little weird because I think even there's a portion in there where, like, I think the brother pleaded the fifth on a couple of things that he initially kind of talked on, and then he pleaded the fifth later on in the conversation. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I would be. I'm thinking somewhere down the line they're going to open up some cases down the line to find out and get a little bit deeper into that whole situation. But again, I don't know if she did anything wrong. I'm just saying, from looking from outside, I'll be honest. I'm gonna tell you something crazy, and this going off on it. Her father came in there and destroyed the courtroom. Her father was a beast. I heard
he's an attorney too.
Yeah, he's an attorney. He was very professional. He greeted all the people as counselor as they were talking to him. You know, I mean, he wasn't cooning and buffooning or nothing like that, but he just did what he had to do the professional way and got up out of it. And I thought it was real classy how he handled it, you know, so that's my opinion on it. But I think she probably should have took the same approach as her dad.
She should have said none of your business and kept it moving.
Honestly speaking, going back to that, she had the right to do that.
Yeah.
She didn't even have to show up to court. From what I understand.
Yeah, she said when the testimony was, you know, it was her time to get up. She said she chose. Ran to the court. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So she was like, she was waiting. She said she was in the office pacing, waiting for them to call her down. You know what I mean?
Okay. She had a different game.
First time in history of America that a black person was going to court and ran to get on the stand.
Fani been getting that money too long, man. She been getting that money too long, man. You know what I mean? Ain't no brother volunteering to get on no stand for nothing, man. She been getting that money too long, man.
All right, so let me run down a couple of moments from Fani, not Fanny. Fani. Willis time.
It's Fani. Name is Fani, man. They're trying to get killed.
A testimony.
Both from the South. We know how it work out there.
I mean, she is kind of fine though, so Fani kind of work.
Yeah.
So, you know, they named you Sadie, and you're gonna change the name to Sade and all that other stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, here's one of her moments here. Check this out.
2019 judges conference.
We haven't gotten to the point where Ms. Willis should be treated hostile in this situation.
I think we have.
I very much want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be
Not
here.
so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, it'd be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Ms. Merchant's interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine.
A Fulton County district attorney in charge of criminally prosecuting former President Donald Trump for interference in the 2020 election shockingly took the stand during a hearing in the case. Fani Willis had sought to avoid testifying about the allegation she was in a romantic relationship with the special prosecutor she assigned to the Trump case. But in an about face, she stormed into the courtroom and she insisted that she testify.
Please give me the time period.
Mr. Wade visits you at the place you laid your head.
When?
Has he ever visited you at the place you laid your head?
So let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
Ms. Willis? Mr. Sena, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes.
The Fulton County District Attorney made headlines when she brought RICO charges against the former president and more than a dozen of his campaign staff. In an extraordinary moment, Willis marched into the Atlanta courtroom while attorneys were arguing over whether she should be forced to testify. As she approached the prosecutor's table in court, she looked before the judge, and as the entire gallery watched, she uttered 4 simple words: "I'm ready to go."
Yeah, man.
Who says that?
Yeah, she was ready. She was ready for real. She ain't gonna say that and not be ready.
I'm ready to go.
And he's doing too much playing with these boys, man.
But she flipped it back on them. You saw she flipped it back on. She had paperwork to show them where they was lying at. But now all of a sudden they want to shut stuff down. See, and that's why you had to do that enemy like that. You got to put him on trial at the same time while he's questioning you. And they go ahead.
I think she was right in that situation, because if somebody assumes something in your personal life, then I think you can take that. You can take that approach to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You don't want to. Really, what they're doing is, this is Trump right here. They're playing dirty pool. You know what I mean? It's like, this might not even have anything to do with his case, but what he's doing is like, I'm going down, I'm going to take the whole ship down with me. I'm doing everything.
Well, actually, it has a lot to do with his case, because what happens is that if she pursues this, and this is, the Fulton County thing with him with the votes. So what happens is that if they get her off, the next person that comes in to take that case could be like, all right, I'm dropping all the charges. You know what I mean?
Well, when I say that, I mean, like, I know that it's connected, but I'm saying I don't really think they're going to stop her, or I don't think it's going to affect the outcome of his case in the long run. You know what I mean? Because whatever the evidence is the evidence. You know what I mean? Whether she presented or somebody else presented, it's going to be the same thing.
No, would it be as passionate as she is? Because she's passionate about getting this done.
Well, yeah, well, I guess, man, you could look at it like that. I mean, maybe that might be the case.
But would they even pursue it? They like Mike was saying, they might just go ahead and drop it.
Might drop it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They might.
Yeah,
because history showed us that they can pay people off, and then we only never hear nothing about it.
Never hear nothing about it.
We'll see, man. But again, Fani went 10 toes down, man.
Yeah.
Fani.
Listen, man, I'm calling Fani. Mama named her Fani. I'm calling Fani.
Mama might name her Fani, so I don't know.
Hey, no, they from down south, man. Ain't nobody calling nobody. You ever met somebody named Fani down south?
Never. Always Fani. I know a Fani.
Yeah, I know a couple of Fannies. Come on, man. You better stop that, man. That don't make no sense. All I will tell you this about Fani, man, she does take a nice vacation every now and then.
Oh, man. Yeah, she goes in.
Fanny,
in.
Fanny said she took the guy out for his 50th birthday and took him to, I think, Belize. What did it? Matter of fact, I think he came off a trip with the mom on a cruise, and I think they went to another trip. And I think she said for his 50th birthday, she took him, paid for everything.
Well, and her reasoning is, my 50th birthday sucked, so I'm going to make sure he has a good time.
I like that. Where's she at? Come on, Fani.
I'm trying to see what the problem is.
As I've stated on this microphone,
we all should be so blessed to find a Fani in our life.
Several times I've expressed on this microphone, I can't find somebody to make me a sandwich on my 49th and a half birthday. Not that I am 49 and a half.
Hey, you got the wrong women. You messing with the wrong type of women.
This is facts.
Fanny stock about to go up, man. It's gonna be a bunch of creeps in her DM after this one right here, man. Mm-hmm. Fanny stock about to go way up in the air, man. Fanny, when she got to wherever they went, she gave him $2,500. Nobody knew what $2,500 in money.
Little pocket money.
Whole lot. Little something.
She already paid for the trip. She gave him $2,500, and then she gave, I think, the cab driver about $300,
something like that.
Make sure you keep the cab rolling. Keep the cab rolling while we down here.
And sitting in court like a kingpin. Just got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll pull out that one.
Oh man.
I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't a fan of her. I'm starting to like her.
You gonna overlook the RICO cases down there?
Hey, I'm starting to like her.
Yeah, sitting in the court, kingpinning. I'm like, what is this about?
Where we actually complain about a lot of these women nowadays don't want to be wives and don't want to be mothers. Fani look like she know how to treat a brother.
I know, but then family also said she's your equal or something like that. You know, that's the problem she was having with the brother. That she was
what they say about her?
She was saying that the problem that she was having with the guy that she was seeing is that she was constantly saying like she's his equal, and you know a man can't really take care of her, all that kind of crazy stuff like that, man. You know.
Oh, so she crazy.
She had a father, and she talking like that with a father. My question is, what type of upbringing did she have?
Yeah. Well, her dad actually, dad was a real sketchy character too, man.
Like the comedian TK said, "Who raised you?"
Right.
Well, you know, her dad was well, he was affiliated. Technically, I guess he was a Black Panther, but you know, he was down with Ron Karenga and them. Anybody know anything about Ron Karenga? Ron Karenga was a little sketchy.
What do you mean sketchy? Street dude?
Yeah. Well, a lot of Black Panthers believe that Ron Karenga kind of had something to do with, you know, snitching on people and stuff like that. It's alleged.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And his father and her father and Ron Karenga, I think at one time or another had a newspaper together or something like that. Like they ran a newspaper and stuff like that. So her father's name I don't think was ever in any mud, but you know, Ron Karenga is your man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anytime somebody coming from a household full of thinkers, you know, because they try to put all Black folks in one box, but we come in all kind of boxes, and we got some heck of a thinkers in in our circles, and so if she came from that type of environment, so apparently she did, you know, being an attorney and stuff, and being what you're saying about her father, you would think she would know better, but again, society got the lines all screwed up and all gray. That, you know, that's right. We call him bad, and if what's bad, we call him right.
Right.
You know,
right.
Instead of getting back to the basic, you know, the basic stuff is just like women and cooking. Society been telling them for so long, or you're a weak woman if you cook for your man. But just the opposite is the truth. A man really would love and respect you more if you knew how to cook.
Right. You're right about that.
You know, back in the day, you call a woman a that's a problem. And you calling one now, it's a badge of honor.
It's sad.
Come on, man.
It's
Come
sad.
on. They're making fools out of us, man. And we letting them.
And I think again, I don't think that you know, when it comes to men and women, it's like now, like you just said, like women look down on the position of cooking and cleaning and all the other stuff like that, like it's a weakness, but you don't realize the power that you have, you know, by cooking and cleaning and doing those things, man. You know, like I say all the time in regards to my mom, you know what I mean? Her cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. My mom can make a phone call to family or somebody and get somebody hurt. You know what I mean? You know, her power just from helping people and doing things, man. She has a power, man. You know what I mean? So people look down on that power, you know what I mean? And it's ridiculous, man.
These women tell me got a problem with their husband coming home. Cook that nigga some food. Watch you be home early.
Right.
And know how to cook.
And shut up.
Yeah, that too.
And shut up.
Sometimes, man. You don't have to, you know, run your mouth all the time, man. I don't want to talk negative and crazy, but you know what I mean? That's what it is.
No, we gonna be honest, man. You want that brother to come home, cook that man a meal, let the house be clean, and shut up when he get there.
I say more so just give him peace.
Yeah, give him
Instead
peace.
of saying shut up. Give him some peace.
Hey, I bring all the men home in them situations. You ain't got to ask me. Hey, I get a second job. You know what? I got a good woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a second, third job.
Oh, just some peace. Just peace.
Back to basic, man. We've gotten away from the basic stuff, bro.
Yeah, you're right about that. So
see what it is that a lot of the women who were, you know, of age in the 80s and the 90s, they basically, maybe they were single mothers and they had to do it themselves, right? So they raised their daughters to not want a man, therefore to be a man, and just think this whole independence thing is the way to go. And it's a warped way of thinking.
Right.
Oh yeah. Instead of just saying, baby, you know what, I messed up. I had a baby before I got married and stuff like that. Don't be like me. Your mama meant well, but I just got caught up. I want you to do better than me. Man, that'll make her look better as a mother.
Yeah,
that'll make her look better as a mother. Yeah.
That's true.
But no, she wanna bring an excuse to kind of don't look at what I messed up at. You can do it by yourself, girl. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
No, that ain't good.
Yeah, well, the feminist movement also had a big part to play in that too. So
exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on to the final topic. But before we get in the final topic, let me ask y'all a question real quick. Since we're talking about Fani and this whole Trump thing, did you brothers buy a pair of those sneakers?
I was joking earlier.
As Trump said, you sneakerheads. You sneakerheads. So
but you know what's funny about that?
If they was red, white, and blue, maybe not gold though.
What you said? Your mom?
Hey, he got a silver pair too. Now he got a silver pair out there.
Yeah, I think for me that's gay.
But listen,
gold shoes. It's a gold shoes.
Gold shoes.
Yeah.
Hey, now once back in the day, it would be 100% gay, but nowadays
they love them like that.
It ain't gay no more.
Man, I still
I ain't wearing no gold sneakers.
I still think what's some Jones they wear? Clogs? What are they?
Crocs.
Yeah, Crocs.
I think no man should be wearing them.
No man should be wearing Crocs. That's just me. And
they're
Uggs.
girl shoes.
And Uggs.
Yeah,
no man should wear
shoes.
Crocs and Uggs. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I had to put that out there because they said that a pair of his sneakers signed the other day at SneakerCon went for $9,000.
Wow.
And they actually $399 sneakers. But,
right.
would you consider them?
Any of your brothers changing your mind now?
No.
Sneakerheads.
$395 for a $9,000 markup?
I'll go get a pair of Jordans before I ever do that. I would never do that.
Yeah, I would never pay for no Trump sneakers, man. I would never support them.
I'll buy them and resell and make some money off it.
Which most people are doing that. Yeah, I'm quite sure they're doing it. Yeah.
I can't support them, man. I couldn't support them in no way, fashion.
for me, it wouldn't even be about supporting them. It's like, these is ugly. I would never purchase them.
They're ugly as sin, but, people are actually going to buy them, man. Won't be no brother on this program, but somebody gonna buy it. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know because when I watched it on the news the other day, they was making it seem like he had such a great time at SneakerCon, and I thought it was like weird because it wasn't in Philly.
Yeah, it was in Philly. Yeah.
But here's the funny part: somebody told me later that they booed him there.
Yeah, for selling the sneakers. Yeah,
they didn't show it. You know what I mean? Like his press people, PR people did the Fugazi garbage and whatever. And from what I understand, they said they booed him and stuff like that. I don't know.
Dude, the media is dirty, man. They programming us, bro. They show us what they want us to see.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking
of
that,
bottom line.
Are you brothers ready for November?
What's going on in November?
Turkey.
The election.
Yeah.
Now check this out.
Yeah, this election.
This is what I come up with. This is what I come up with. When it comes to that presidential election, why vote? Because our vote don't matter. It's electoral college. That's what counts, right?
And listen, hey, Pope, I've been telling. Well, everybody already know my stance on this, man. I'm a proud non-voter, right? And I never had a voter's registration card, man. Never had.
Oh, really? You never voted?
Never voted.
Wow.
I knew it a long time ago, man. I
voted one time in '96.
Barack got you caught up? Who?
No, he said
96.
96.
That's like when he just got the voters registration card.
Oh, man. You voted for Slick Willie? You voted for Slick Willie? It got you excited?
At the time, I was just hyped to be voting. Like,
he was happy to be voting. It was 96.
and never did it again.
Yeah, I never voted, man. I never had a voter's registration card, nothing, man. I heard that Malcolm X Ballad of the Bullet when I was a kid, man. It made so much sense to me, and ever since then, I never did it. And I was understanding that electoral college thing back then, man.
What he said?
It was just basically saying, like, when it comes to voting, he was saying how by giving you the right to vote, they take away the right for you to revolt. You have a hand in the process, but you really don't have a hand in the process. You know,
because of the electoral college.
So, but now, the whole point is just to give you the thought process that you are in it. You know what I mean? So when people say to you, you know, the world can be going, the United States can be going totally wrong for you. The president can be totally destructive. And then and this has been going on continuously for us as Black people. And then people will always look at you and say, but did you vote?
Yeah.
My vote meant nothing anyway. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Especially if you know anything about the electoral college, it really doesn't matter.
If you know anything about this country, it doesn't matter. Like, this country was set up in a political system, not for us. We were designed to always be second-class citizens in this country.
Yeah, the fact that some little small town in West Bubble in the United States got the same electoral votes as some major city where, you know, there's minorities and whatever. You know what I mean? It's total bullcrap, man. You know what I mean? Might be
What about voting local elections? You think that matters because there's no electoral college in local election?
It has more of effect on your everyday life.
Exactly. So that's where I vote. I vote on those, not the national election.
I don't vote in any of them because, again, I'm gonna tell you what I found out is that, you know, especially coming from New York, man, it's like we have these people that come in the neighborhood who supposedly these local politicians, and, you know, they come there when it's time to get voted in. You don't ever see them again, man.
True
I
that.
never really see what they do in the community. I never see their hand in the community. So it really, I mean, people say, you know, I've heard brothers such as yourself, you guys say, you know, they vote in the local election because they feel like they got a better shot or hand in it. But in reality, I've never seen anybody in the local election do anything for anybody in my community.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I just don't see no hand in it ever. Have you noticed anything different that changed in your community? I don't even put it like this. I've seen local politicians come through, and then I never seen them again. And then even if you want to get deeper than that, you start talking about mayors and stuff like that. That, you know, I always say, I remember watching David Dinkins in New York, run around in New York in a kente cloth. Everybody got him in. I think he's the first Black mayor in New York City. So everybody feeling good. We ain't seen David Dinkins until like he was trying to get reelected the next joint, man. I remember in the Jamaicans and everything in Labor Day Fest was throwing beers at his limousine. I was on Eastern Parkway when they was doing it. You know what I mean? They made him get out of there, man.
Look, I think I told this story before, but I'll tell it real quick. I probably was like in first grade or something like that. And Wilson Good was running for mayor of Philadelphia. He was going to be the first Black mayor. And we was walking around with signs and all that, you know, elect Wilson Good or whatever. A few short years later, this nigga dropped the bomb on the Move organization. You know what I'm saying?
Wilson Good. I thought it was Frank. I thought it was under Frank Rizzo's administration. Wasn't it Frank Rizzo?
Yeah.
No. It was Wilson Good.
It was Wilson Good?
Really?
I saw a documentary on Move that said it was Frank Rizzo.
I thought it was Frank Rizzo.
No, not when the bomb came. It was Wilson Good.
Wow.
Oh, yeah? Wow, man. That's crazy. But, you know, it's funny. They pimped me out like that, too, man, as a kid. I was in sixth grade. They took us down to the synagogue on Eastern Parkway. And that's when Jesse Jackson made that Jaime Town comment. And he just disrespected Jews and whatever like that. And then they forced him, they pimped him out and forced him to go to the synagogue. So my school, right? They took us all down there. We're sitting behind Jesse Jackson as he give this speech and he's pleading to the Jews about Jaime Town or whatever like that, man. You know what I mean?
Also a classic Eddie Murphy sketch on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, Jaime Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I got pimped out too, man. They pimped this out. You know, they love to put some Black kids behind a politician, man.
That's it.
Make it seem like it's a good thing or whatever like that. And they know they don't give 2 cents about them Black kids in the neighborhood, man.
Check this out too, right? I come home in 2008 and they was like, hey, you know, you can vote. I'm like, I can't vote. Like, you know, y'all stripped all that away from me. They like, no, this new referendum, you can vote. Come on and vote. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just don't sound right. You know what I mean? And
so they try to set you up.
Yeah, all the Blackness in me is like, go vote for the brother. But my mind is like, yo, something ain't right.
You know, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I voted for Barack, and my reason for voting for him was for the historical moment of having the first black president. That's all. That was my only reason for voting for him. I didn't know his politics. I didn't know nothing. I only voted for him for that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
If I would have voted, I would have voted for Barack too, simply because he was black.
Yeah. Just because it's historical. It's historical, man.
Forget about his political views, anything, man. He said just vote for him because he's your brother. I felt the heart, the need to. You want to get down with it. I said, nah, man, I can't do it, man. I know this is a sham. But I always believed voting was a sham, man.
I don't know, man. I think you believe Santa Claus is white too.
I did it one time, man.
Oh man.
Y'all crazy, man. Hey, listen, let's go to this last topic, man. Santa Claus. Let's go to this last topic. So we know that, I believe it was last year, right around this time actually, that, Malcolm X's family, along with attorney Ben Crump, who, you know what? I got to say this publicly, y'all. You know what I mean? I actually, on this show, several times, we all have given Ben Crump a really hard time in the beginning.
Right.
In the beginning. All right. And, we had a chance to go see the brother speak about a week ago and everything like that. He dropped a lot of jewels within that conversation. So.
He gained my respect. He gained my respect.
And, watching the documentary on Netflix prior to all of this, you know what I mean? And I've said this before, it kind of changed my opinion on the brother. However, I mean, if he does something crazy, we'll keep.
He can get a clip
just like anybody else. But for right now, I will say, yes, I do have some respect for Ben Crump. I have a lot of respect.
And we got to give him some credit.
Yeah, I got to give credit,
The reason why we heard about is the topic that we're going to discuss, and then we heard the Henrietta Lack thing, how he helped the family out. And suing some of the pharmaceutical companies. So we give him credit for that.
And also by dropping that bomb about John Hopkins, saying that when he went back to do the investigations about the Henrietta Lack situation, talked to the older cats in the neighborhood, they told him about how John Hopkins allegedly kidnapped black people at night and did experiments on them, which, really doing my due diligence on it. And if we find some information, we definitely will be dropping it on this show because everybody is in that auditorium perked up when he said that. You know what I mean?
But you remember when we talked about the thing that was going on at Holmesburg and how the University of Penn was into that too, doing those experiments on those prisoners. So it's believable.
Yeah, it's very believable.
Definitely believable.
Very believable.
The history of America, period.
Oh yeah,
we've been guinea pigs for everything. You know what I mean? So very much believable. Blacks and Jews are the guinea pigs of medical science.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
People don't even understand.
Wait. Who you said? Blacks and Jews?
Blacks and Jews, man. Blacks.
Why are you putting Jews in it?
Because of the Holocaust.
Because of the Holocaust. Because of the Holocaust. No. Because in the Holocaust, Hitler, a lot of stuff that we know about how hot you got to be in order for you to die or your heart to give up, and how cold you got to be in order for you to die, whatever like that. A lot of that information comes from Hitler.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
That may be true, but what about right now? Are they still working on Jews now? Like they working on us?
Oh no! Oh, absolutely.
No. Oh no. But I'm saying, but we can't deny the fact that they actually went through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, they deny the fact that we went through it.
Listen. That's a topic for another show, brothers. I mean, you know what I mean? Because if we keep going on in that, man, we're going to forget about what is happening right now, which is the fact that, again, the family of Malcolm X with attorney Ben Crump was suing the CIA, the FBI, and the NYPD for $100 million for them, accusing them of playing a role in Malcolm's death, right? So, as of today, Crump said that he has 2 new witnesses in that case. And so they had a press conference about that. And here's what's happening on this one, guys. It said the civil rights and personal injury attorney Ben Crump is scheduled to announce, which he did today, new witnesses in alleged conspiracy cases surrounding Malcolm X assassination. So he had a press conference, which we'll play a clip of, that says that his co-counsel, Ray Hamlin and Flint Taylor will be introducing 2 new witnesses who have offered evidence in the case. The press release labels the witness as security associates who have never spoken publicly before and were arrested 1 week before the civil rights leaders was killed. So, of course, we know he was killed on February 21st, 1965. And he was only 39 years old at the time while speaking at the Audubon Ballroom where they had the press conference at. So what happens is that they said that the NYPD, the FBI, and the CIA was listed as co-conspirators. However, the theories have been proven. So it's not even theory anymore, it's a fact. So him and his team said they secured more information and that they say will point the finger at the FBI for trying to cover up a conspiracy to murder Malcolm X. He also mentioned is Eugene Roberts, a former NYPD informant who acted as Malcolm X associate, witnessed a dress rehearsal at the Audubon Ballroom for Malcolm's pending assassination a week prior to it. So it says, Roberts claimed that he heard someone say, the famous line that we all know, "Nigga, get your hand out my pocket," at the dry run. And then he gave the information to the FBI, but was unaware what they did with the information and still unclear who organized the dry run. So that's where we at with it right now.
I said he was sketchy. It took him like 27 years to come out the closet and speak on what he spoke on, and he was dangerous. Gene Roberts. It was Gene Roberts, right?
I don't know if that was the one that gave it up. Oh yeah, Gene Roberts, yeah.
He's the one that gave Malcolm X mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, man. For all we know, what was he doing?
Yeah, he could have been blowing into his body. Who knows? But we know that J. Edgar Hoover said it wouldn't be another Black Messiah, and he had a thing where he was trying to kill everybody.
Oh yeah,
we found out recently that the FBI, CIA was behind the murder of Dr. King, and Dr. King didn't die because he got shot. They gave him a needle at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we are aware of this, and I believe it.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know is too with King is that that this is on record. You know what I mean? With the family, I think the family was able to sue the state after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of what King went through. Mm-hmm. And even right now with this guy, which is crazy. This is what we're talking about right now in this day and age is that they need extra witnesses and all this other stuff like that. Gene Roberts was in there. We already know this. This has been put out there for years. Like he's been in the Audubon Ballroom. He was a part of a task force in New York City Police. I think it was called Boss or something like that. Mm-hmm. And what they did was they were surveilling them. Like, so the fact that it took him 26 years to come out and say that the man is dead now, I believe, Gene Roberts. And it took him 26 years to come out to even tell that. And he told us a long time ago what went on.
Yeah, about 3
so
years
why
ago.
why are we still acting like, you know, the government didn't know what was going on? You know what I mean? If nothing else, if they didn't have any involvement with it, they knew what was going to happen and they let it go. If nothing else, at the bare minimum, they just let it go.
Yeah, and that's crazy in itself. So now what Ben Crump and I were saying during the press conference is that with everybody being held accountable, like we got to see where Mayor Adams is at with it. Like we can't just like sweep all this under the rug because the NYPD is a part of this $100 million lawsuit. So what I want to do is I want to play a clip from this particular press conference. It's like, I'm going to link it into the description, y'all, so that way you can watch it yourselves because it's a rather long press conference. But just to give you an idea of what's going on. So this is Attorney Ben Crump addressing Malcolm X assassination 59 years later with the revelation of 2 new witnesses.
A legendary civil rights lawyer who works with the Chicago-based the People's Law Office, as well as Attorney Ben Elson and Attorney Hakeem Muhammad. They have a wealth of knowledge and history of holding the government accountable for the wrongful deaths of Black leaders, the most notable being the death of Fred Hampton, that they litigated and recovered the highest award at such time for the killing of a black leader. And so the family of Malcolm X is honored to have them join our team. We are honored to represent Ilyasa and her sisters in what has been a quest for justice for 59 years. Today, they have been fighting to get to the truth, to finally hold NYPD and the federal agencies responsible for a conspiracy to assassinate their father, Malcolm X.
I just wanted to say real quick, given that Ben Crump is taking this case on, do you think this kind of puts him, I hate to say this, but like in the crosshairs? Because now you kind of
if he wasn't already.
If he wasn't already, I mean, because if you're dealing with, you know, the death of, you know, black people by police or whatever, you know what I mean? But now you're talking about you going after the CIA and FBI and all of these
things. I think those things are so old. Like anybody that had anything to do with that is pretty much dead. You ain't worried about that or whatever like that. And this is how we usually get our money. You know, this ain't nothing new. It's the same thing that happened with I think with like Geronimo Pratt and Johnny Cochran and them, man. You know what I mean? Like after everybody's almost dead or close to death, you know, they start cutting checks. You know what I mean? Because they can't deny some of the truth.
But what about the further black eye that it puts on something like the NYPD?
NYPD has been dirty.
I mean, they've been dirty, but this is like
we're talking about this. We're talking about this. What this? Malcolm X died in what 60? Maybe what 68? Something like that. I forget what year.
Yeah,
something like that in the 60s.
65.
Talking about we were talking about the NYPD for the 60s. we know them in the 70s and the 80s. Who knew? You know what was going on in the 60s was horrible. You know what I mean? So they ain't had no credibility back then anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ben Crump, he's a smart dude, man. He's a real smart dude. I appreciate the work that he's doing. But I just wish he'd find another spokesperson to speak, because his speech make him sound slow and dumb. I don't like that.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
He's real niggerish.
Yeah, no shade at all now. No shade. I'm just being straight up.
You know what, bro? You hit it on the head. I was looking for it for a long time. No, he ain't. He sounds like he has some sort of speech impediment or something is going wrong.
Right.
You hit it on the head. I've been looking for it, man.
That's what it is. He's a smart dude and he's passionate. I appreciate all of that.
He's not a great orator, man.
No, he's not. He's not. It's like me. I love to sing, but the fact of the matter is I can't sing. So I'll let somebody else sing for me. But I love to sing. So he may love to talk, but don't the people that is not going to receive you as strongly as they could because of the way you sound.
But you know what though? It's funny that you say that, right? Because when we went to see him live, even though he had that issue, the information that he was dropping was so important that I enjoyed the conversation. You know what I mean? But what you're talking about is like, and this is the problem I probably had with him over the years, because anytime I got to see him was through sound bites, you know, on the news and stuff like that. And I'm like, why is he talking like that? You know what I mean? Like, and it would turn me off. So yeah, you're right, man. But again, when I did see him in person, man, I actually his information and stuff that he was giving out was inspiring, man.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Definitely was. I actually spoke to the brother after everything was over, and he had his hat cocked to the side, like, you know, it was weird. You know what I'm saying? Being as though you just dropped all this knowledge and information, and now like you like
regular dude.
I appreciate it. I ain't gonna lie, because it didn't make him seem haughty. So I actually did appreciate it, but it was just weird. Like, yo, bro, fix your hat. You know what I mean? Like,
like you still in the public. You ain't at the picnic yet.
Yeah, I get it. You want him to be like Malcolm. You want to be militant 110%.
No, just more polish. That's all. Just polish, because it's like McDonald's, right? You got McDonald's, and the building of McDonald's is nice and beautiful and clean all the time, nice and yellow and bright. And then you got another place right next to it that may have better food, tasting food, but it's not as shiny as McDonald's.
Right.
So by the human nature, a child, a baby, or anybody that's not got knowledge, they're going to go toward the McDonald's. They got worse food rather than going to the restaurant that don't look so hot, but yet the food is better there. It's better quality.
Better quality food, right about
I like that analogy, and I'm a jump on behind that and say I'll wait in the line at Chick-fil-A because they so nice. You know what I
mean? Yeah. The presentation is so much better. Yeah.
Exactly. So it works to have both.
Yeah, it does.
You know.
All right. So let me tap on a little bit more of this before we wrap up, y'all.
We've had Mr. Mustafa Hassan come forward, who was there in the Audubon Theater when Malcolm was assassinated. And he revealed new evidence, new information for the first time ever, that when he actually had captured, was able to grab one of the shooters, when NYPD officers ran up, the first thing they said was, "Is he with us? Is he one of us?" As they tried to help him escape. And Mr. Mustafa Hassan's observation. Now, today, we have two additional individuals who are for the first time talking about what happened 59 years ago. You're going to hear from Mr. Khalil Saeed Ramakrishna, and you're going to hear affidavit read by Mr. Walter Bowe, who is 93 years old, who was one of the founders of the Organization for African American Unity, the organization that was founded by Malcolm X after he left the Nation of Islam. Present here with us are his daughter, Kai Bowe, as well as Nandi Bowe. Their father is having some health issues, and that is the reason he's not here with us today.
So, yeah, like I said, this press conference, you're going to hear from a lot of different people, but I'm going to link that in the description for everybody to take a look at, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to, in the interest of time, I don't want to go through the whole thing. But, yeah, what do y'all think? What's your thoughts on that?
Pope hit it on the head, man. I can't take his speech, man. I was looking for the answer, man. And I was like, man, what is wrong?
That's it.
That's it.
So that's what you got. What you typing on with J-Rob? What you got?
It's funny because just hearing that little sound bite, he do sound like he needs somebody else to speak for him. But the other night, I don't know if it was the energy in the building, but it just sounded like he was hitting all the correct notes the other night.
Well, you know what it is? I don't think he sounded like that the other night. You know what I think he's trying to do? It's almost like he's trying to do like a jacked up version of Martin Luther King or something like that. You know what I mean? You know how he's talking?
Well, he also said the night that we saw him that
free at last,
that he was on
free at last.
Yeah,
the night that we saw him that he was actually, there's so many black people in the room that day, man. Maybe
regular conversation.
Maybe it was just a regular conversation. You know what I mean? So,
thank God Almighty. That's how he sounds, man. He sounds like he's doing a jacked up version of Martin Luther King, man. But the brother, like you said, man, the brother doing some good work, man.
He's doing good work, man. I want to diminish that with the speech, but I get what you're saying. But you know what I mean. But what do y'all think about this case? What do you think about the new evidence on this thing?
They got so much evidence on that stuff already, man. I don't even know what they can do to put that through. I mean, I think they even had a letter, and I talked to you about that earlier. They had a letter from a guy on his deathbed, a police officer, who was kind of, I guess, ashamed about his involvement in it, and he was saying it was all a setup.
Right.
I mean, they had a letter from a man on his deathbed. He gave it to his cousin to read once he died. And it was something that bothered him from that point on. He sold, basically sold out Malcolm. And, again, they got an agent in the room giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And I thought the whole thing with the agent long time was fugazi, man, where it took you 26 years to come out about it. And then when you come out about it, you talking about how good you were and how you were helping them out and all the other stuff like that. But your goal was to stab them in the back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't get it, man. Like, it's not like they hired you to get in there and help him. You know what I mean? They hired you to get in there and destroy him. You know what I mean? So, and then somehow you ended up, out of all the people there, his wife's his nurse and everybody, you end up as the guy giving Malcolm X mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
Yeah, but it seems like it's a reoccurring thing that's happening to all of our black leaders, because even Fred Hammond, I know y'all seen Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
His closest bodyguard turned on him. I mean, but he was an informant from the beginning. Al Sharpton, come to find out that he was a government informant. He was working for the FBI. And he was right there with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And so it's always going to be.
Don't forget about Jesse.
Yeah, I was going to say Jesse Jackson has some.
What about Jesse? He was an informant too?
Let me tell you something, man. The Rainbow Coalition.
What about that?
Just the name of the Rainbow Coalition ain't worth 2 cents to me.
Well, you know how that whole thing kind of operated is, basically, if I walk in your company and I see that there's not enough black people here, we're going to kick up some dust. Or
right.
You can kick out.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, maybe, but that's what I'm saying, though. You can kick up dust or kick out. You know what I mean? So.
So you can hire some people or you can take a check. You know what I mean? Or you can give us a check. You know what I mean? Well, the Rainbow Coalition. I'll tell you one thing about the Rainbow Coalition that always ticked me off. And I remember Bill O'Reilly called them out on this a long time ago. And I ain't no fan of Bill O'Reilly, but I think he was telling them, like, yo, listen, like, you get millions of dollars to run this organization. And we don't see what it does. The government pays, I think one time or another we're paying them like a few $1 million a year to run the Rainbow Coalition. Now, I'm from New York. I've lived in North Carolina and in Jersey, lived in Delaware. Different couple of places, all you brothers, Philly, Alabama, different places. Have you ever seen an office where the Rainbow Coalition operated out of?
Never.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
I can understand it, 'cause I've been to a couple of NAACP meetings and stuff, and they always in little rinky-dink spots, nothing really professional looking. But you got to realize, man, there's so many hands in our suffering to keep us in a working class position. There's so many games and tricks being played on us that we don't even realize and don't even know what's going on. And then they got us going at it with each other, doing their work, and we don't trust each other. We don't have no resources. You can have a dude that got a plethora of knowledge talking to these young boys, but if he walking around with some Bobo shoes on and looking dirty, they're not going to pay him no mind. Right. But we got to look the part to grab the attention of these young people or just black people, period. Like I was saying about Ben Crump. Ben Crump got a lot of knowledge and stuff, but he's not the one to be in front of that camera all the time, speaking like that. We need to have more leaders. Why are they just giving us this one Ben Crump? It's a lot of more black leaders out there to speak for us. I don't want to be in that one category where Ben Crump speak for me all the time.
And you know what? I'm glad you said it, because I think we were talking about this before, and I hate that because we don't know who the Jewish great lawyer is. You know what I mean? Right. We don't know who the Chinese great lawyer is for Chinese justice or anything like that. It's only for black people. We got these, you can name them, Johnny Cochran,
William Gary.
William Gary, what's the dude out of Harlem, Percy, whatever his name, Percy Sutton. You can go back through history and you can pick out all of these great attorneys. What was
Thurgood
Marshall. And, why do we have like these just, one time, like these generational, every other generation, we have this great black attorney that takes on these, roles or whatever the case may be. And then other ethnic groups, you just have attorneys that just take on issues. Why is he the only one that's doing this thing? You know what I mean?
Do you think maybe it's because most of the cases that they take on involving our people are more publicized than, say, the Asian community? Or You know what I mean?
No, I think what it is.
So they're going to be known.
Is when there's something wrong in the Asian community, you probably got people, fighting over to get to the problem. You know what I mean?
Like for instance,
not to mention in those other communities. Yeah, but in those other communities, their economics speak for them.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to have a front man that's a lawyer because they can speak money. We can't do that.
I just think that they have people that are drawing straws to get at the opportunity to correct an issue. You know what I mean?
Like we had a lot of Asian hate crimes that was going on, right? And those were very publicized, but I've never seen anybody take on any major Asian hate crime case and say this is the lawyer for that particular case or anything.
But that's how we are, period, as black people, man. We always gotta have like one good attorney, one good leader or spokesman or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem like this happens in no other community but ours. You know what I mean? And again, I think that's another thing too, is I think you said it earlier, Pope, is that we allow them to choose these people for us. You know what I mean? Who said Ben Crump was the guy? You know what I mean? We just allow.
Where did he get his qualifications from?
Yeah, they just catapult him into a position, and then who says Barack was the guy? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
now let's say 20 years from now we come to find out that Ben Crump was an FBI informant, and then we're gonna be all in shock like we are about Al Sharpner and the rest of these guys that pop up later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just something that we do in our community that's crazy. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Ben Crump. When you think of a person of that nature, of that ilk, you're looking to be dazzled by a brilliant speaker, a brilliant mind. And I didn't get that. I got regular person from him. You know what I'm saying? But I felt, but I still felt energized with what he was saying. But I didn't get, he's so brilliant.
Yeah. Because I think when we left that meeting today, me and Mike was talking about it, and I was saying, like, it's funny that we brought up this conversation now. I was like, well, why is it only him? Like, why aren't there, there's a brother in every state that's an attorney that's attacking these issues and different things like that. You know what I mean? Like, why do it seem like we only have, like, one guy to do it every now and then?
And see, they put fear in us, too. They put fear in a lot of us because we don't want to lose our freedom. We don't want to lose our money, and they control us like that because they know we don't want to lose those things. But like from what I understand, the people in Haiti, they don't mind dying for the cause. You know what I mean? So those are some dangerous guys to deal with because they would get out here and put it all on the line and be for real about it with no hesitation.
But that goes back to what we were talking about, that Malcolm X thing, where it's like, see, those Haitian people know that they don't have a hand in the process. You know what I mean? So it's easy to stand up and go to war. You know what I mean?
But they were successful. They were successful. They kept the British away by being that way.
Yeah, but even also to like Africans, I'm just saying that that whole voting process, man, take your mindset to say, well, we have a fight, we have a hand in the process. A lot of these countries like that, these third world countries and different places, they know that we don't have any hand in the process. So what happens is they're easy to revolt. You know what I mean? And then the scale from have and the have-nots is so far from each other. It's like we ain't got nothing else to do but fight.
Yeah, not to mention in America, we see all the black leaders, they get killed.
Everyone.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you do have some knowledge of something and you're able to you're charismatic and you're able to lead a crowd and have people follow you, at what detriment is that to your family? You understand? Like your family needs you too. Like I know the cause needs you, but your family needs you. Like, do you want to die trying to save the people?
A lot of people thought that way, though. A lot of people
There's another thing that's about black leaders. If you notice, the ones that get killed, it's not really about them getting killed because of what they're speaking on. Initially, like when you look at Malcolm X, initially he's a racist. He's talking some good things, but he's talking a lot of racist things. You look at Martin Luther King, and his thing was just civil rights and all the other stuff like that. But when that message becomes economic, that's when people get killed. You know what I mean? When you start talking about economics and you take color out of the process, you know what I mean? You start talking, because I think we were talking about this one time, I think in the Birmingham jail, like, I think they was talking about how there was a white CO that Martin Luther King was talking to. And he was saying to him, like, yo, y'all don't get no money. Like, the CO happened to show him his check. And he was like, yo, listen, like, you should be in here struggling with us because you ain't getting no money. And a lot of times they get played out of their position because they think they're part of the Republican process, but they don't know they're looked at as white trash and on the bottom of the barrel, whatever the case may be. But they think the only thing that makes them a Republican is their white skin. You know what I mean? So he was saying basically, like, I think, you know, that's when Martin started the Poor Man's March and all that other stuff like that. That's when he started getting killed. Nobody cared when you talk about this race stuff, but when you start talking about bringing cultures together because of the economic issues that suppress poor people all around the world, you end up in a box. You know what I mean? Agree. That's how it is, man.
Yeah. All right, fellas, I'm going to wrap this one up for the night, y'all. Another good conversation, guys. We'll carry this on for another hour or so just on that topic alone. All right, y'all. The Only One Mic podcast is available on all major platforms you stream your podcasts on. Also, check out our Only One Mic podcast YouTube channel to catch up on the past and current episodes. Please don't forget to rate the show and subscribe. Also, check out the shorts, y'all, if y'all want to get a taste of what the show is like. You can check us out on Instagram and X at The Only One Mic P1. Facebook and LinkedIn at The Only One Mic Podcast, and you can contact us via email at theonlyonemic00@gmail.com or call us at 302-367-7219 to have your comments and questions played on the show. We thank our audience once again for their time, and we encourage you please to speak your truth quietly and clearly and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant, because they too have their story to tell. So until next time, please keep in mind that we never had to run from the Ku Klux Klan, so we shouldn't have to run from a black man. Peace.
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 Peace. Peace.